How we doing?
Good.
How's the face? Or the nose?
We could breathe, so it's good.
What exactly happened? It was hard to tell.
Yeah, I pulled it when I probably should have handed it off. I tried to throw it, and I saw him push, decided to tuck it. I don't know what hit me. It was a knee, it was a hand, it was somebody. Helmet just kind of came down right on the bridge of my nose and just started leaking. So it's tough because you should go down there to give Mitch a chance to kind of catch his bearings to be able to come out there. Obviously, gushing blood, I just wanted to try to get off the field and stop it. And for him to come off the bench like that and no warm-up, no nothing, to be ready, I think that's a true embodiment of the character and the man that he is, coming in there and making a play on third down for us. That was a huge drive. It was a huge play. So shout out Mitch.
Have you had one of those before, a gusher like that? You've had a lot of injuries. Probably.
No. The last time was like high school basketball hitting the nose or something. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's still kind of going on me, but we'll be all right.
How impressive was it for the defense after last week's showing against Baltimore? It's like, almost pitch a shutout here today.
Yeah, I mean, I think they took it personal. They understand what type of defense they can be. They went out there and they played extremely well. And that's the standard that we're looking for from them, and they understand that. But very proud of how those guys attacked the entire week of practice, stepped up to the occasion. Now in a short week, we gotta do the same thing again on Thursday.
It just seemed like you definitely wanted to run the ball through. You were leaning into it. You wanted to run the ball through. You were leaning into that pretty early with James. Just kind of tell us how you thought that all went.
Yeah, just trusting our guys up front. I thought James was doing a great job of, getting onto the second level. He had a heck of a game. And yeah, when something's not broke, don't fix it. And we kept going back to it, and yeah, it worked out pretty good for us.
Win dramatically the way you did last week, and then to follow that up with a road division win. What do you think you've learned about this team in these 2 weeks?
Well, that we're resilient. Went out there and learned from some mistakes that we had last week. Now, again, we're going to have to watch this film. There were some mistakes today that we need to clean up. But just proud of how our guys attacked the week. Could have easily led into everything that everybody was saying about us, and I'm sure it's all good right now. And easily could have put ourselves in that situation. But we don't ever want to do that. We want to continue to play the way that we play, practice the way that we practice, and ultimately go out there and execute each and every play.
Did you set a tone for the day with that opening drive?
Yeah, I mean, I think our defense and our special teams set the tone for the day. I thought guys were flying around making some plays, and again, just finding ways to continue to move the ball, and found a way to score it today. And they're still early on. We get the sack fumble. Got to come away with 6 there and not 3. So again, a lot of things to clean up.
Was there a carryover from last week? You scored on the last 3 drives in Baltimore. You scored on the first 4 drives in this game, or is it just each game is individual?
Each game's individual. Everything has got its own little flow. Ultimately, just trying to find out, what the defense is doing, finding out quickly what they're trying to do, and adapt accordingly. But again, I thought we did a good job of that today, and proud of Joe for just going back to the run and letting James get back there and tilt the rock.
Josh, you mentioned people might be saying you guys are so great and all that, but your teammates always talk about needing a chip. Like still each and every week playing with a chip. Why is that so important to the identity of this team, despite how talented this group is?
Yeah, I mean, I think the mindset that we have is, never get too high, never get too low. Try to find the middle and understand that, it's never as bad as you think, but it's never as good as you think. There's always things to improve on, and each and every week, that's all we're trying to do throughout practice. And now, short week, we got to watch this one. Typically on Thursday night games, we don't really even watch this film. We let our coaches do that, and we got to turn our focus to our next opponent, and that's Miami Thursday night.
Even though you were gushing blood, as you said, you were back in there pretty quickly. How much has your durability and availability been at the core of who you are as a player in this league?
I mean, I take a lot of pride in it. Being able to withstand some of those things and never want to make a living out of it. But yeah, I mean, I take it with a lot of pride.
Thanks,
hey guys.
Everybody. All right, James, you guys fell behind last week, so you couldn't really run the ball a whole lot. So how good was it to kind of dedicate the game to the run after you guys got up early?
Just setting our identity. We can run the football and, get tough yards, and that's what we did. Ran the ball and did the defense.
On your long touchdown run, it looked like you pulled out of an ankle tackle. When did you see daylight, like you could get to the goal line?
Oh, when I cut back, like when I made the jump and cut back to the right, I knew it was, just beat the first man, and that's what I did.
How impressive was it for the defense to do what it did after the struggles it had against Baltimore?
It's a tough lead, just the way that they came back and faced adversity and came back and played a good game today. It shows that the grit that they have in that room.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
One more word for you guys. You know what you get, right? You guys are a ball player, man. All right. Good win, never easy. That's a team that's obviously had a lot of momentum. We thought coming in here, and they played really hard last week, and almost pulled out that win, and probably should have won last week. So we felt like we were going to be in for it this weekend, and it was important for us to get off to a good start. I thought we did that in a complimentary way. Scoring on offense, getting some 3-and-outs early, a takeaway early, setting our offense up in a good field position. And then the drive after half, in terms of the time of possession in the third quarter was certainly in our favor. The line of scrimmage was important for us, and credit the O-line, D-line, and really all 11 on both sides of the ball. Special teams made some big plays in the kickoff coverage. Sam Franklin. Obviously, James Cook on the offensive side, big day. And I love Mitch, how Mitch came in there, kind of like a little shift change in hockey or something. And Josh runs off the field. Mitch goes out. I think it was a third down play, second and a third down play perhaps, and throws a seed in there, throws a dime. And that's hard to do with no warm-up. So credit Mitch for being ready. Again, the defense did some really good things. It was good to see them. Really disciplined, playing hard, playing relentless style of defense, taking the ball away, and being able to close the game out. Those are hard to do as well, and good to get Elijah a few touches today and get him in the end zone. That was good to see. Happy for him. So with that, I'll open it up to you and your questions.
Coach, with the corrections you wanted to make on the defensive side, things looked pretty buttoned up defensively, like right from the jump. How would you kind of assess? Because you talked about assignments, communication going into this week. Do you feel like it looked buttoned up, at least on live view here before watching the film?
Yeah, yes, better understanding of the plan. Coaches, led by Bobby, did a great job putting a good plan together. Players executed. They spent time like they did last week, don't get me wrong. But they were really intentional this week about the details and making sure they understood where they were supposed to be and when they were supposed to be there. So that's got to be an every week thing. But I liked what I saw.
You feel they took it personal, the way that things unfolded Sunday night, and really wanted to, as much of a shoring things up execution-wise, assert themselves from a mental side as well?
Well, they're competitors, so they take a lot of pride in their work, and it's important for them that they play well and help the team win, and they did last week as well in certain aspects of the game. This week they got off to a faster start, which I thought was important, and that was the performance we expect to see right there.
Mitchell's pass. Describe the sideline reaction to Mitchell's pass in the game where you guys had, a 2-possession lead or more almost the entire game. Would you even call that a turning point?
When Mitch came in?
Yeah.
Well, I never want to see Josh go out, but again, to have Mitch, a veteran quarterback, come in, didn't blink, and the huddle didn't blink. Their belief in him is extremely high. He came in and delivered. He executed, right, the way he's supposed to, and that takes him being ready to go, being prepared through the week. All these players they're one snap away. We had some guys help us out on defense today that stepped up and knew their role, embraced the role, and got themselves ready to go. So the preparation piece, I guess, is what I'm saying is the key, right? And so anyway, just very grateful. Glory to God for another win.
Coach, you mentioned that the line of scrimmage was important in this one, and Joe leaned heavy into 12 and 13 personnel, maybe even more so once you got up on the scoreboard to kind of grind it out and shorten the game. But how effective did you feel that 12 and 13 personnel was for you guys today in the ability to get consistent yards on the ground?
Yeah, big. You know, you're watching even college games yesterday. We're on the in the hotel, and you're seeing some of those college games that are going back and forth, and it just seems again every week who can win the line of scrimmage. That's where the battle begins. And I thought Josh took a few hits a little bit there early maybe, and Joe did a great job switching some things up. The adjustments that Chrome and Joe made along with the offensive staff, the communication was really important for us right there.
Sean, is this the Joey Bosa you hoped and expected when you made a move for him this offseason?
You know, Joey's been great since he's gotten here. He loves to play football. He prepares. He's a true pro. You know, he's been a really good addition. I think like anything, this is just game 2 for all of us, right? Not moving away from Joey's question for a second here, but just game 2. We've got a short week this week, a home game coming up, and a chance for us to continue to take another step, which is important for us.
Hey Sean, what was the reason behind Matt Milano not being in there to start the second half?
Yeah, he was dinged up a little bit here, so we got to see where that goes. I don't really know much at all at this point, so I'll get you more information when I can.
Similarly, Trey came out a little bit earlier than some of the other starters. Was that just because the score, or what was the reason for that?
You know, we had talked about making sure he was, you know, that we were watching him because he's been out for 2 or 3 weeks here, give or take, and just being smart with him, and that's the way the game unfolded as well. So, all right, thank you guys, appreciate it.